Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here. We're drinking beer and play a game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour podcast.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to big episode 330. Thank you for joining us tonight. What makes it big? Well, nothing. Just felt like the thing to say. How you doing, Bry?
Oh, Jim, can you believe how the fuck are we already done in January?
Because life is
Like,
hell and it's going by quick, and soon we'll be dead.
I feel like it was like, oh, we opened presents. Oh, it's New Year. And now I feel like I farted and we're just here. So, how is it possible?
Well, when you spend like half your day on the toilet like I do, days just fly by.
Damn it, Jim.
It's a simple process,
No,
Brian. Catch up.
we we have been busy, and speaking of being busy, got to thank our buddy Nerdy Nick for coming on the podcast last week. Week before, we had our buddy Blade Blur, so we've had our back-to-back guests, but we're back to just you and me, Jim, just a single date, just mommy and daddy, just enjoying ourselves, having our beer.
Which one am I?
I mean, look at the names; it's pretty obvious.
So I'm daddy? All right, cool.
I mean, come on. Let the viewers decide, Jim.
Right,
Who
yeah.
they who are they gonna go with?
Right, yeah, obviously me. So it's good. We can move on.
But Chambers, what are you drinking tonight to celebrate the big day?
Big day episode, whatever we're
Yeah,
doing. Yeah,
yeah.
so I'm actually, once again, keeping it very seasonal, or the opposite of. So I'm finally dipping into that sample pack I got from Mudhead Brewing, same time I got it for you, all those months ago during the summer. And I am trying their 1883 IPA. Comes in at 6.5% alcohol by
Mm.
volume. Comes to us from good old Wildwood, New Jersey. And that's all freaking. Oh, wait a second. Mudhead Brewing Company is named after the first passenger train to come through our 5 Mile Island. In 1833, the West Jersey Railroad carried travelers to a newfound destination of rest and relaxation. High tide frequency caused delays, standing eager vacationers who quickly nicknamed the train after the local audience of wetland birds. Our flagship IPA is as distinct as the Mudhen call itself, with floral, citrus, and pine notes, complemented by a dry finish. So that was very hard to read as it's black text on gold with light shining directly in the middle of it. So that was a goddamn struggle right there. But you know what? For IPA, it's a tasty IPA. It's basically everything you could want from a very standard one, but it's well balanced, good aroma, decent alcohol percentage. What's not to like? Except if you don't like IPAs, and then it won't be for you. But
And I do appreciate the fact that you are drinking something that we clearly got over the summer. So it's nice
what I
and
stated,
aged.
what I did,
I know. Jim, as we established right before we start recording, reading is not your strong suit. Comprehension is definitely lax. So good job reading. If I could, I'd pat you on the head right now.
see, Brian, when I'm interested in what I'm reading, I do a good job. When you send me bullshit, I just blaze through that crap.
Listen, you can use all the excuses you want. You do the same thing with Sandy. You do the same thing with schoolwork. You do the same thing with everything. Even topics you like, you tend to screw up. So, back in high school, they wanted to give you Star Wars, but you would have screwed that up too. So,
They gave me Star Trek because I looked like I'd enjoy it, and they were right. But still, it's the principle of the matter.
um, so Chambers, for 10 points, how many kilometers is 5 miles?
I don't fucking know. What am I, Eurotrash? Give a crap about that. A lot. It's more than five.
I, I just wanted to see if you could get. See, you have for as all the dumb things you do, you have a very interesting ability to retain like goofy knowledge. I thought that would be something you would know. So
Yeah,
it's
the second it gets
8.04.
that stink of not America on it, it just nah.
Well, I similar to you, sticking with IPAs. I am still blazing through all the Iron Hill Brewery variety pack. This one is the Blue Skies Sunny Haze Hazy IPA, 5.5%. Back in Blue Skies and Sunny Haze. Wait, bask in Blue Skies and Sunny Haze with the seasonable Hazy IPA, crafted with a healthy dose of Citra, Mosaic, and Eldorado hops. Their This beer boasts a tropical fruit flavor profile with notes of mango, passion fruit, and Kramer's favorite, papaya. So sit back, relax, and put on some Almond Brothers and enjoy the tasty beverage. Can is kind of cool, has like a comic book esque style. The beer is pretty damn good. I will say that. As I've said about this entire variety pack from Iron Hill, where the fuck were you all the times I've had Iron Hill? And now you're gone. And now I finally tried some of your best shit. So pretty damn good. I'd say get it if you could, but you really probably can't. So it is what it is. Damn it. So Chambers, other than StarCraft, because I know you gotta do your little plug, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, actually, I've barely played any StarCraft. I maybe played 2 matches total, but you can check out everything I'm doing over at Jim StarCraft Struggles link below. But yeah, Hollow Knight. It's got its hooks in me. It's got its hooks in me deep. I'm about 24 hours into it right now, according to my last time taking a look. And yeah, I mean, I'm just far deep into it. I'm about to fight Hornet for like what, the third time. I have like 2 of the 3 masks and that black egg already taken care of. So yeah, just plow my way through. Don't really ever want to put it down. But I have tried to get to my resolutions as well. So for the beat 'em up genre in my backlog, I started to play what many consider an old classic, Batman Returns on the Super NES.
Hmm.
So yeah, by Konami, based on the movie. It's really good. But what I did not realize going into it is how much of a pain in the ass that game is. It's got some extremely cheap boss fights in there. And did about 3 playthroughs last night, 3 game overs, went through all my lives and continues, got to the final penguin boss twice in a row and died on it and game overed. So you want to talk about blue balling, Bry? There is no worse blue ball in the world than getting to the final boss and dying on the final boss and game overing. So that's where I'm at. I hope to beat that in the next day or two. But yeah, that has been the bulk of my gaming. What about you?
Um, so I finished off Quarantine Zone. I think I talked about it last podcast. Finally wrapped that up. So now I unlock like the ability to do endless mode where I can keep playing it. I do want to stream in the future. Really, really fun. Enjoyed the shit out of it. I also beat a game called Nightmare of Decay, and that is imagine Resident Evil 1 in first person mode, uh, but elements of other Resident Evils mixed in there and other just random horror genre. So basically, like your dude falls asleep, has a nightmare, wakes up at a mansion. There's zombies in the mansion, and there's other monsters in the mansion, and there's puzzles and yada yada yada. Um, you know me, I love the low poly style games like Puppet Combo and other things that give pay homage to old video games. But this one was like 2.5 hours, if that to beat. I had
Wow.
no idea. I knew nothing about it. It's just in my backlog on Steam, and I was like, sure, let me just boot this one up. So I'm kind of going through it right now. Um, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, those 2 games are kind of honestly all I focused on. So I finished them off. Now I'm in that weird spot of like, what do I start next? Because I'm still playing through A Link to the Past, still going through all the dungeons. So once I got to the Dark World, it's a lot more cryptic, but I'm enjoying it. But I'm also doing it at a very leisurely pace, and it's nice. Like I don't have a thing over me where it's like I gotta beat it, I gotta beat it. So I don't know. I'm just gonna keep plowing through all the rest of my Steam library, and then eventually start hitting up the rest of my physical library. So yeah, making good progress. But Chambers, speaking of staying busy, so we're already past January, went through a whole month. Thank you guys so, so much for all the watching, the supporting, the commenting, the providing us songs for our daily video game best music list. I didn't even try to give it a cute title. I just wanted to basically put up a cool song every single day. And you guys, we love the support. So something I wanted to do was kind of just have Jim and I pick out from this month what are some of our, like, what's our favorite from other people and then from each other. So, because I know Jim would not willingly choose a song of mine. So I was like, you got to pick one of mine and you got to pick one from somebody else. So, Chambers, from this month, what was your favorite fan pick?
Fan pick. I actually, our good old buddy Nerdy Nick nailed it, but a bunch of people picked it as well. Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2. It's nostalgic, it's funky, it makes great use of the Sega Genesis hardware. It's just an all-time kind of banger. So, I mean, for as much as I could have gotten cute with it, I just had to go with my gut on that one.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I mean, that is an all-time classic. Now, what about from your good old buddy Brian? What was your
So
favorite that I chose?
So, Brian, this isn't the technically best one if you did like a technical music perspective, but I went with my gut again and went with a nostalgic favorite. So I went with Zombie Panic, Zombies Ain't My Neighbors, a song that's been burned into my head for 30 plus years. So, it's nice, it's chill, got a little bit of spookiness to it, but, you know, it's not an all timer, but it's just a song I can't deny.
See, it's funny. I actually thought you were going to go with Go Straight from Street to Rage 2.
Yeah, the thing about that is I've heard that song 17 billion
Too
times in
many
my
times.
lifetime. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, for me, man, it was a really, really tough narrowing down my favorite. Um, so I tried to pick two that I wasn't as familiar with because, like you, like I was gonna pick ones that I knew really well, like Iron Blue Intention or even Chemical Plant Zone. But I narrowed it down to two of them, and it's between Zero's theme and Subterranean. Zero's theme was picked by our buddy Crooked, and Subterranean was picked by our buddy Blade Blur. Um, I think I got to go Subterranean only because, like, I already knew about Zero's theme and I knew it was cool, but I kind of forgot about it when I put this list together. I never heard Subterranean. I never played Earthworm Jim 2, so that kind of caught me for a loop, and I was like, "Oh, this is like oddly chill, really good beat to it." So yeah, I was like so shocked. Whereas most of the other entries are ones I've known about and really enjoy. From you, Jim, what do you think I'm gonna pick from yours?
Uh, if I had to pick, I would go overworld theme, Super Mario Land.
Close, but no. I went Warthog Run from Halo
Ah,
3.
very close.
To me, ju- that just like encompasses like if people can say what they want about Halo or whatever, but like the soundtracks always slapped so hard, and that the agony of that fucking Warthog Run and when you would fall. But the only thing that kept me steady was enjoying the music for it. So yeah, I just loved the shit out of it. I think from your picks, you had interesting picks.
Man of taste, Brian. Man
I would
of taste.
I mean, of course, Spring Yard Zone was pretty good. Astrobot, I would have liked more if you didn't goddamn have to keep saying how goddamn adorable and cute it is every time
So
you play.
cute.
But yeah, oh, and then Maximum Carnage, I think is I thought it was like, man, nobody really likes this song. But as we saw throughout the month, for some reason, your picks just I don't know what happens with
No
your
one likes
picks. I
anything
don't
I pick, apparently, except for
I,
Astropod. Apparently, that one did all
well,
right.
that an overworld theme, people really like that. But yeah, Maximum Carnage. I mean Carnage rules. Even though it's a very short loop, it's such a great song.
Oh yeah, and the actual like real song they did of it, like you can really only find it on YouTube. It was like
Yeah.
a C side on some random CD that they put out. Green Jelly, Green Jello. So yeah, just look up the actual real version. It's an awesome song in itself, and the way they chopped it down on the Super NES is really cool. How they digitized it.
Yeah. No, no. So it's great. So guys, we want to thank you all once again. Obviously, got February. I already have it all planned out for the month. Please keep whether it's comments, doesn't matter if it's on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you want to send us your recommendations, please keep sending them to us because we got a whole year ahead of us. And my goal is to have as little bit of me and Jim picking songs as possible. So the more you guys send in, the more we can fill out.
And the way the comment sections have been going on these shorts, like People were just throwing songs at us left and right. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Brian, I don't think we're going to be hurting too bad for picks for the rest of the year.
Well, it's funny because when I started this, I went, all right, there's definitely no problem. But it is funny how quickly, like, what you would consider like all the top tier ones have like already been knocked off. It's like, I wonder when we get to the 300s and something. Like, are they all going to be fairly deep cuts, or are there just that many bangers that like are obvious, but you can't think about until you put it down on paper? So that's where I'm more curious. And I will say, while there are a lot of duplicate entries, people are throwing some shit at me that I'm like, I don't know this game. I don't know this song. Like, where it's not like a game where I haven't played like some of the Final Fantasies. I'm saying like games that I don't even know what the fuck they are. So I can't wait to like get to them and listen to them. So I think that's really the cool part of it.
Oh yeah, Brian, it's a learning experience.
Yes, it is. So thank you guys once again. But speaking of thank you and support, Chambers, we've now, especially by this podcast, we've released our Max Payne review. We've wrapped up all the reviews other than our bonus beers, which we're talking with Nick now, and we're gonna schedule getting that back on. But Chambers, what questions do we have this week from Patreon?
Questions that you can get in over at patreon.com/drink a beer and play a game, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question that we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. Just one question this week comes to us from our good buddy Burned Retinas. Where is the worst place you've ever fallen asleep?
Okay. I mean, I have mine actually. Um, when I was like a teenager, probably 13, 14, my one cousin's house, I stayed over, and her then fiance became husband. Um, they had one of those like legit leather sofas, and it was middle of summer. I fell asleep on it, and my God, the sweat and the sticking to it after a night of, I think maybe I was drinking. I don't know, but I just know it was middle of summer. They didn't have the air on. It was a row home in Philly. Like, just sleeping on that thing was awful. Like, I couldn't get comfortable. And then, like I said, waking up to just that was just terrible. I've fallen asleep on more uncomfortable things, but that wake up was just, yeah, that was bad. Don't ever fall asleep on a leather sofa in summer, is my only recommendation.
So, leather sofa, huh? It's the best you got? A little sticky, a little hot?
I mean, listen, I have slept on floors, I have slept outside, and they've been uncomfortable. But I kind of like, I think the leather sofa fucked me up because I didn't expect it to be bad. Whereas when I sleep on something, I know, like when I've slept on floors or slept on outside, like I know this is gonna suck. So I'm like already mentally like, yeah, this is gonna be pretty awful sleep. The surprise factor of like how much that sucked is what got me. I could always go with the easy answer of when my wife was giving birth and what they make you sleep on in hospitals, because it
Not
does
fun.
fuck up your back
Been there.
completely. But I didn't want to
Br-
go there that route.
bridging some chairs together, little makeshift bed action there.
Yeah.
Yep. That's not fun. Bri, let's take a trip. Let's take a trip through time, Bri. Let's go back to the year of 2009. Look, your pal Jimmy here was all of about 23 years old at this point, and I was in a band at the time. And as we did at band practice, I stayed up all night drinking. So, come 4 a.m., a singer from another band, an older band, said, "Hey, I have a spare ticket to Wing Bowl." So, for those of you who don't know, Wing Bowl was a tradition that we had in Philadelphia for a number of years while the Philadelphia Eagles were not making the Super Bowl. So, what they would do is they would rent out our arena, our indoor arena where the Flyers and Sixers play, and they would have a wing contest. And they would have entrances, a little parade in there, D-list celebrities, lots of hullabaloo going on. So I went, I don't know. I'm pretty drunk already. I probably shouldn't do that. He went, dude, free wing bowl. And I went, yeah, you're right. So I decided to make the trip from South Jersey over to South Philadelphia, parked, and proceeded to start drinking, as one does when you're tailgating. We went in about all of 5 in the morning, and around 6 ish is when the opening ceremonies were kicking off, 6, 7 a.m., something like that. And I go, I'll be right back. I have to take a pee. So for those of you out there who have ever drank with me before after excessive drinking, you know what happens when Jimmy disappears. Jimmy falls asleep. So what proceeded to happen was me waking up on the floor tile of the Wells Fargo Center public restroom in Philadelphia,
Oh,
Pennsylvania at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Somehow laying on the floor of a public restroom for a good 5, 6 hours and wake up going, oh. Stumble my way back to my car, covered in God knows what from a rest well earned, and come out to my car. I had driven my parents' station wagon to this trip to see the rearview mirror kicked off.
you mean side view?
Side view mirror, yes. So yes, that'll be some real shit if someone broke into the car just to
Somebody
kick off the rearview
that
mirror.
I'd
Yes.
say, well, you probably have other issues in that, but yeah.
Proceeded the drive home on I-95, which is never a fun drive in the best condition. Got home and the parents just looked at me and they went, "What the hell happened to you?" I was like, "Yell at me later. I'm just going to lay down."
You know, Jim, as someone who knows you, has been with you more times than most, when you're drunk, your ability to fall asleep anywhere is fairly impressive. I mean, um, yeah, I figured you would pick a bathroom because I feel like you've also fallen asleep on the toilet in public bathrooms before.
Many
Like
a time, Brian.
maybe not hours, but definitely you've nodded off, and I've even had to help wake you up from such things.
You've had to wake me up. My wife has had to wake me up before. They've had to clear out the bathroom for her to come in because her lovely persuasion, you could say, was the only thing that was getting me off the toilet. There's even been times where I've been mistaken for being passed out on some kind of drug and being kicked out of bars. So, yes, Brian, I've run the gamut, but there is nothing that will top the public restroom floor of a indoor sports arena to make
I
you go,
mean,
what am I doing with my life?
it's yeah, you the number of times you've fallen asleep in the vicinity, the immediate vicinity of a toilet, I'll just say a bathroom, is probably easily in the 20s or 30s.
Only 30s if I'm lucky. Definitely more than that.
So yeah, I think most normal people don't have what you're describing because I've fallen asleep in cars. That sucks. But yeah, yeah, mine's
Yeah,
way
yeah,
more
Brian,
boring than yours.
that leather sofa must have been really tough, Brian. Must have been really hard on you.
You know, it's tough out here, Jim. You know, I was gonna give some other examples, but yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is, indeed. But yes, that will wrap up the Patreon questions for this week. So once again, thank you to everyone out there for the support. As usual, head on over to Patreon where you can find all of our bonus content, bonus podcast, short bonus clips, game review requests, movie review requests, or whatever the hell else we put up there. Lost episodes, blah, 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 blah. And once again, thank you, everybody.
No, I truly appreciate it, guys. Remember, get those questions in as you're supporting us and check out for new upcoming additional content for our $1 tier. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Well, Chambers, let's go from your drunken, maybe stories like that. Maybe you set a tone for future generations, Jim, on the effects of too much alcohol consumption and why we are still in a slump when it comes to breweries, beer consumption, just everything we've talked about over the past couple years. I feel like over the life of this podcast and our site, we went from the bubble rising and hitting a peak with breweries, especially craft breweries. And now it is descending down. And the latest you put up here from craftbrewingbusiness.com, the Brewers Association kind of gave a rundown of 2025. And yeah, there's more closures, volume of beers down by at least 5% over the year. And they kind of think that is going to continue to plummet down. I think more
Right.
specifically,
Right. Just be a little
go
more
on.
specific to that. They're basing it off their July mid-year survey, which is estimating it to be down 5% year over year, which exceeds the full year trend of 2024 when it was down 4%. Not only that, Brian, let's talk about openings. Let's talk about closings.
Hmm.
Because they tracked 268 new brewery openings, respectable, not too
Yeah.
bad. But that goes against 434 closings. So the closures just represent about 4.4% of operating breweries, but the trend signals that the market no longer absorbs new supply easily. So, just to throw some stats at you, I got a stats for you, Brian. There are currently 9,778 small and independent breweries operating in the United States. The industry supported more than 443,000 jobs, estimating a revenue of about 72.5 billion dollars in economic impact.
Which is, doesn't that seem high? Like, assuming it's just talking craft beer. Like, I know the craft beer industry is big, but I don't know. Does that number shock you at all? 72.5 billion.
It's a lot of booze. It's a lot of drunks out there, Brian.
And that's, once again, that's not touching macro. So that means 72.5 is just craft. So your buds, your coolers, I'm going to assume double, quadruple that number.
Yeah, easily.
So,
And I mean, you have to remember that places like Stone Brewing and even Sam Adams, like they are still considered craft breweries, even though they're about as macro as it gets in the craft worlds. But
true.
yeah, what's the mathicals on that, Brian? Like what, 10,000 breweries, 72.5 billion divided, numbering. I could have brought up a calculator, but I don't.
Damn
You do it. Do something for once.
it. God damn it, Jim. No, what I want to throw out there is so I feel like when you and I were talking about the craft beer boom in the mid 2010s, like, maybe 2013, 14, I feel like that number of breweries was in the like 10,000. So you and I have said this many times. I did think there was an oversaturation of breweries. And you and I say this from all the beers we try. How many friggin' IPAs, like how many different ways can you truly make an IPA at this point? And that's not to say there's not great ones doing it, but like, yes, the market is so oversaturated that I think there is a normalized number it probably needs to get down to just for craft beer alone, right? Like that is a market with a very low ceiling. Like I think it's quick to probably like get there, but I think at some point, like, yeah, an IPA is only going to sell so much. And even like mainline beer, we said this new generation doesn't drink as much. And if they do drink, craft beer is a niche thing to get into. Like, not everyone loves it. Not everyone likes all the different flavors and taste. You got all the goddamn seltzers and now every version of mixed drink in a can, which people are going to go to if they're going to go to cans. Um, so yeah, I think it sucks because ultimately what that means with 434 closings is people losing jobs. However, I do think this is a trend that'll continue for the next couple of years, and I think that number of 97, almost 10,000 breweries, I think it could probably shrink to about 7,000, if I'm being honest.
And you'd still be pretty well off. Yeah, the article also goes on to talk about how breweries have been leaning harder into their role as community gathering places instead of just
Yeah.
like, a place to drink. More food, more beverage types, and more targeted programming became common as breweries sought steadier revenue streams and deeper local engagement. On the product side, there has been growth in non alcoholic beer and even rising interest in low to mid strength beer, defined as under 4% ABV. So they're chasing more drinking occasions by offering flavor without higher alcohol. And you know what? Yeah, yeah. Eventually, you just kind of want something to pound. You want something light and easy. Like if you have, a couple super heavy ones in a row, there's gonna be nights where you're just like, enough. Give me something to wash this down with, but still have some alcohol in it. So can't be water. Can't ruin the vibes. But
No,
you know, it's good to right. For every time you have a good 10%er, you need a keystone to wash it down with. It just works.
I don't agree with that. Maybe you just limit yourself to one or two 10 percenters. That's if you don't want to keep
Jamie!
drinking. Damn it. Goddamn Dan. um,
That actually isn't
but
Dan.
who is it? What is
that's
it?
that's Ken Jung from Community.
Oh, god damn it. Um, but here's the thing, you just pointed out something, and I want to get your take as an old head, but someone who still frequents bars way too often. What do you prefer? Like, back in the day, it was always shitty dive bars or bigger bar that would have a band playing. That was like the thing, right? Like going to
Hmm.
breweries was not a thing our generation did when we were actively drinking. That
College
became
age, yeah.
later. Yeah. And even then, most breweries were like, we'd be lucky if they had a food truck. Now you can go to a lot of breweries and they have legit good ass food or something. And they have things for kids, games. Like they got a lot of shit going on. Is that helping or hurting the beer scene as a whole? Like you're becoming more family friendly. And as a avid drinker, how many just local corner taverns, bars do you think are just getting wiped away? And is that better?
You know what? I don't think I here. All right, purely anecdotal, but let's put it this way: I have never seen a local dive bar close. I've never seen one go away. They just stick around. They have their clientele. Like they have that ham and egger who's just done with the workday or done with his family and just needs a place to go. And there's just a vibe to a dive bar. And you know what the thing is too? They're still going to be cheaper than anything you find at a local brewery.
Yeah.
So like all these breweries, there's a lot of competition, but a dive bar is just the corner bar is the corner bar basically. So I think it's just I'd honestly say it's just completely different clientele. Almost like there's some to try to bridge the gap where they have events and they'll have more bands. Like some are definitely like you have your holes in the wall, you have your mid tier ones that have bands, you have your bigger ones. Some stick around, but a lot like the around our area, like the Whiskey Tangos and the O'Briens is like those old like big huge gathering places that got too big for their britches, like they're gone. Now, there's a lot of mismanagement from those things, and the kind of places you go, I can't believe this would ever fail. But you know what? Sometimes things fail. Like you could anything could get fucked up. But when your business model is, selling $3 Muro Lights during a game, and it's just a place to go and chill, it's kind of tough to beat that.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. I think to your point, the really small dive corner bars, you're right. They generally don't go out of business. And yeah, like even I wouldn't call it a dive bar, but like when we went after we went to the cage and went to that general, like that, you could tell the majority that was people that go there all the time. We
Oh,
came in
right. There
there.
is a record scratch when we went in there, and we're not even talking like a hole in the wall, middle of a strip mall kind of bar either. Like big ass plot of land that has all to itself, tons of parking. Definitely one of those upper tier bars. But after a certain time at night on a Thursday night, Brian, anything becomes a local dive.
Yeah. But like I said, I said going back to this article, I do feel bad for those losing their jobs. However, like most things, there's a breaking point. So I'm sure we'll keep seeing my projection for this year. So if they went down a net 5% over 2025, I'll say that'll stay. Maybe a 6% it'll decline overall. So we'll see.
Right. What do you think is going to last longer? The craft beer boom or waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6 to finally come out?
Man, it's just such a joke at this point. But what's even more of a joke to me is this article you provided from videogameschronicle.com. Um, Grand Theft Auto 6 may not have a physical version on day one, and the reasoning may be to avoid the leaks. So the report comes to a Polish site called ppe.pl, whose insider, I'm going to fuck this up royally, but Grasdari. Basically, they previously correctly leaked information on the release date of Oblivion Remastered physical copies, the Switch 2 port of Sonic Racing Crossworlds, and the PS5 port of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this person's obviously been correct with this kind of information. And yeah, what they're hearing is that on day one, you may not be able to get, they know there will be a physical copy. That's inevitable. But on day one, it may not be available. And the thought process is to avoid leaks. Do you really think physical copies are the reason leaks happen in the first place? I mean, I guess it is in theory easier to leak if they send out physicals and somebody gets it and burns it. But I imagine you can still pull it from wherever. Like I think the number one spot for leaks, my guess is when you have sites and you send out whatever, whether it's digital or physical, that's how it gets leaked. That's my number one guess. I don't think it's always like someone being hacked into or whatever. I think that's probably number one, but I don't know. What's your take on it?
The game's gonna be out there anyway. What the fuck is what are you preventing? Well, how is what in what world? Like if these companies are giving out, let's just go with say review copies. Let's just go with that theory for instance. Like if they're going to give out a review copy, it's going to be a download code anyway. It's not going to be a physical copy that's going out to people. Like these all have to be pressed and sent out and go gold and blah blah blah, all that insider term bullshit. It's like the code. It's the code. Like the leaks come from like pissed off workers or like fucking hackers. Like it doesn't come from fucking physical copies on release. And if it's on release, what's being hacked? It's release. I guess they're scared of like a Walmart employee like cracking open a case to like leak something. Like, sure, some shit dick's gonna risk his whatever job at Walmart for that. I guess for updates on Reddit, sure, definitely a possibility. But like, that's not where all these leaks so far have been coming from. There's been a fuckload of leaks for this game over the past couple years cycle, and none of them have come from anything physical. So why is that the problem now? What?
Also, like, what is it you're going to leak that's going to surprise? Like, GTA is going to be GTA, right? Like, what are you going to leak the plot? Oh, let me guess. They pull a heist. There's a crime. You kill someone. Like, it's not like a movie. Like, when a movie gets leaked and there's an ending that you're shocking people with, like, that can suck. And I get that. Game leaks in general to me are very weird because 95% of the time you know exactly what you're getting. Unless it's like a weird indie title where it doesn't have any history, but when it's a franchise like fucking Grand Theft Auto, what could you possibly tell me that's going to make me go, well, now I'm just not going to get it? No one's getting it for the story. Like, even though, yes, you will enjoy the campaign, you're buying it because it's a fucking open world where you're going to do stupid, dumb shit and eventually just play online. So, leak away. You're just probably going to drive more interest when you leak shit. So, I don't know.
And
It's
it's like,
dumb.
how much data is even going to be on these discs anyway? Like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be huge, and if you have a disc, that's basically just going to be what all discs are for the most part these days, a glorified download key, and you're going to have to log in and download like 200 gazillion gigabyte fucking goddamn file for this game because of how big it's going to be. So it's like it does. Here's my theory time, Brian. So
Hmm.
I think that they're going to do this, and they're going to expect everyone who's going to be buying this game anyway to just buy digitally right off the bat, and it'll give them an excuse to do a lower print run of physical stuff to save more money and not get the backlash because there's not going to be as many people flocking for the physical if they already have the digital in their hand anyway because this game's been in development for like 12 fucking years. So everyone's just going to jump to buy it anyway. So it's a foolproof plan to, be like, oh, we put out the physical version, but to still do a little skimpy skimp on the back end. Because GTA won't make enough money apparently.
Yeah. It's not a bad theory. What I'm curious about is like if you're the developers, do you respond to an article like this? Do you even waste your time responding?
If you're a rock star, I wouldn't respond to shit.
Yeah.
I'd respond to nothing because guess what? You're gonna fucking buy it anyway. It doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, this will be interesting. So what is your bet? Will they release physical first day or won't they?
I'm gonna go with yeah. All right. Foot to the fire. Yeah, I'll say there won't be a physical release day one. I'll go with my proud Polish brothers and say that, they know what they're talking about.
I'm going to say nope. No, no to the Polish. They don't get a
No
lot
to,
right.
no to the Polish.
Yeah.
I'm a little racist.
Damn it, Jim. I love pierogies.
Look, Brian, everyone loves pierogies, all right? We all have pierogies. We all have kielbasa. You don't show it. You don't stand with the
Damn it.
brotherhood.
But Jim, you know what? Let's stay in Europe. Speaking of brothers and people we're familiar with, let's talk about our buddies over at the UK because they seem to have a big problem with Valve. So big, Jim, they are trying to sue them for $900 million in a lawsuit over unfair Steam prices. From
Dexerto, I think, maybe.
Dexerto, yeah. Um, essentially, what this lawsuit is all about is saying that Steam's like rules require players who purchase a base game to on the platform to buy all associated downloadable content through Steam. So there's like a this practice apparently may force developers to set a certain price through their platform, and in by doing that it's forcing the users to pay too much because they kind of have a monopoly on it because they're like, you are PC gaming and you are setting the price, which I can see that, but I'm also like, this is a weird one where it's like, yes, Steam, just by how good of a product they put out, they are, but you can go GOG, you can go a million other things. Like, there's very rarely I've ever not been able to find PC games outside of Steam. It's just Steam is the easiest application to use for most PC gaming. So this is one where I'm like, I'm never for a like I'm never like, yay Valve, yay Nintendo, like in a lawsuit. But this is a weird one where I'm like, if they really did some shady shit to cost people money or set price points, I don't love it, but I'm also like, they seem to be more punished because they're just the best option for PC gaming. And the UK, they've had enough. Stop trying to steal shit from Steam.
Man, the UK just goes hard on everybody. Went hard on Microsoft, goes on hard on Steam. Now, here's little context, some context time. So the claim was filed in 2024 by digital rights campaigner Vicky Shotbolt on behalf of up to 14 million Steam users in the United Kingdom. So, according to the filing, Steam's rules require players who purchase a base game to buy all associated downloadable content through Steam. Lawsuit argues
Just
this
said that.
practice, I know you did, and locks them into the ecosystem and up to commissions of up to 30%. So, Brian, here's the thing. Thank God I'm no Steam expert, only a year into having a computer, and I have this expensive computer and I only play StarCraft on it for the most part. So, I'm not one who knows shit from my, ass from my hole in the ground. But from what I've seen through tweets and other comments, this whole lawsuit's kind of bullshit because, according to a lot of people out there, feel free to correct me in the comments. Please do. I need the engagement. Uh, Steam's like one of the only platforms that lets you buy DLC somewhere else and use it on the game without problems. Like, you can buy directly from developers, you can buy from G2A, or you can buy from these other things, and you can use that content in your game. So maybe it isn't like GOG where like you can download the full game and all the files in the launcher and everything just through GOG and have it on your computer, where Steam you need to launch it through Steam. But for the most part, from what I'm seeing, I don't know like where they think they have like a leg to stand on with this. So obviously, Twitter's never been wrong before, Brian, and I've always been correct with all my predictions with lawsuits, as we've seen. But yeah, it's kind of weird that it's just like it's also funny because like no other thing gets hit with these kind of lawsuits because like the Epic Game Store or what is it, Amazon selling games now and shit like that. Like none of them have like the control over the network that Steam does. So it's like Steam's the easy one to go for. But yeah, from what I've seen, at least from a DLC perspective, it's kind of open-ish, friendly-ish.
So what I just looked into it, Jim, is I think what you're saying may be right. I think what the issue is kind of the inverse, which is basically if for some reason you buy DLC from Steam, it will not work on anything else.
Okay.
So like if you went to Steam for some reason and you didn't have the base game, that DLC will be useless. So you then need to purchase the base game.
Okay.
So, or wait, no. Actually, let me rephrase that. It requires you to have the base game in your library to even purchase DLCs from Steam. So, like, if you have StarCraft 2 and there's DLC, and for some reason you were just trying to buy the DLC directly from Steam, you wouldn't even have that option unless you had StarCraft 2 bought through Steam,
Okay. I mean, I can see how
which
that's
I'm not
annoying.
I'm not mad at that. Like I'm like that's kind of like, well, yeah.
Is that $900 million of inconvenience there? That's the real question.
Is that are they trying to say like I guess people could in theory like I have PC games and I guess they're like that's not fair if you own a physical copy and you just want to buy DLC and you're trying to get it through Steam, they're going to force you to buy the base game through them too in order to operate it. Well, I'm like then just get the DLC from somewhere else.
Right.
So, which is why I'm like, yeah, this is a weird one. I don't think it goes anywhere. I think it dies on the vine real fast.
Yeah, I like again, like I'm no lawyer and really,
I'm kind of retarded.
but even I can look
Fuck.
at all this and just go, what are you guys trying to do here? And like, here's the thing too. Like, if you wanted a more solid case, the Epic Games Store and other ones like that are way more locked down. So that'll be a way
Yeah.
easier case. So you just trying to go like money wise with the one that you could get the most money from?
Jim,
Shooting your shot?
regardless of, I mean, you know me. You know I like options. You know I like to argue. I'm not a lawyer either, and I hate lawsuits. And speaking of lawsuits, Jim, let's move from one that we know is completely frivolous, probably not going to go anywhere, to yet another one that's completely frivolous. And I don't know where the fuck it's going, but it's apparently gaining some momentum now because we gave an update about 2 weeks ago when Blade was on, and the Smash JT Alyssa Mercante saga continues with Smash as of
Today.
today, posting. Basically, I'll put some of the screenshots here and his tweet, but he says, after taking hours to provide Alyssa's lawyers with the entire conversation histories between multiple creators named in her ridiculous LOL suit, which
Lawsuit,
they
Brian.
in
It's called a
turn,
lawsuit.
yeah, I'm not doing that, which they in turn immediately leaked on public court documents. They've now responded with a "it wasn't good enough" style reply and subpoenaed X for my entire account history. Absolute madness from people who desperately need to be institutionalized. Society has failed them. Lawsuit details. Then he links to his video. And then he, for some reason, tagged
Copies
his
copies his lawyer, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump.
that's the I'm like, what do you actually think's going to happen here? And then he put once again, I know you I guess you can because they are our public documents, but it's so weird to then screenshot like the actual subpoenas and information from the court documents. Like you're just blasting them out there. Like I just I know that's how these people live and die by, but goddamn, like keep something to yourself. We talked about this whole discovery process. So it is interesting because I was looking at his comments and it's like a lot of people, of course, secondhand trying to give their lawyerings and their thought. Oh, excuse me, their thoughts. Um, but I don't know. I'm it made sense that he would need to provide conversations with content creators because the whole thing really boiled down to jurisdiction in New York. Like, was he communicating or doing stuff that earned him revenue in New York, which is where the case is being held? So, if he needed to provide specific conversations with those, I agree. My understanding about X Twitter, they're not really in the business of providing all of someone's account history just because it's requested for a civil suit, especially. Like if it was criminal and maybe there was like a murder related, I think they'd be more lenient. But like just like how Apple won't give shit, like I don't think X actually does that. And that's where I'm curious, like if they really will. So it will probably fall to him to try and now request it from X, and then he'll have to do it. In other words, like I don't think they can just go to X and be like, give us this information.
I mean, a court can do that order if they get a court order to do it. So, I mean, maybe it's starting with a subpoena and then it'll go to a court order, maybe. But yeah. Uh here's the thing. For as much as I don't like Smash at this point, and it's like this is also along the lines of like the original like cease and desist letter where it's like you're asking for a lot here. And like asking for someone's entire Twitter history for the purpose of not even the lawsuit in question, but just to like change the jurisdiction of it to try and get something. Because like I know some people were posting some of the screenshots of his DM history, and it really didn't make any waves outside of being like, you know, a little lame here and there, a little embarrassing, but like, you know, acting like a little goofy with friends. But if there was something really there, it would have been spread out there. It would have made the rounds. And it really didn't. So they probably went, oh shit, there might not be anything here. So now they're just going full regalia and trying to get every single thing to comb through every single goddamn thing. And well, thing and thing. Great description, Jimmy. But yeah,
You
trying to,
can't
you
rhyme
know,
there with there.
can't rhyme there or there. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, at the very least, like I don't know if this is done before in other lawsuits. It probably has at this point. But for a kind of internet-based thing like this, like that's a crazy precedent to set, you know, for the purpose of it, this goes to full trial and this is part of it. Or it's like, you know, any lawsuit like this in the future could just be like, oh, give me your entire online history. But that's also kind of why you need to be careful online and not have too much fun because anything can follow you for the rest of your life. But yeah, I mean, I think searching through every single like Smash has been around forever. So you're probably talking like 10 more and more years of, you know, Twitter account to comb through. And yeah, the also question comes up of like, is Mercanti's camp going to wait for X to respond and give them everything they want? Because no one knows about where the funding for her side's been coming from. So who knows where it's coming from, how much money's left, and how long they can let this drag out until they get what they want, too. So, yeah, there is a lot of shit at play here. And yeah, there's just something that doesn't sit right about, oh, hey, give me your entire account's history and everyone you've ever talked to in any way for the purpose of this lawsuit.
Yeah, well, to your point, I think it's now whether they can win the suit or not. I'm not suggesting it. I'm just saying it's very probable stuff that has zero to do with this lawsuit could get leaked, and you're now just trying to bash his character in public. Which
Yeah,
I get. There's tons of people that don't like the guy. He's made a history of purposefully kind of curating a I don't give a fuck attitude. But yeah, to your point, that opens up a slippery slope. Now you just don't disagree with someone. You just see their chat history for like dumb shit, like you said, like dumb shit you're talking with your friends about, nothing to do with the case. It gets leaked, and it's like, oh, that seems very slippery, even more slippery than the slope of, uh, are you going to start monitoring and censoring all YouTube videos if it's even semi disagreeing or negative towards someone? So
defamatory, whatever. Yeah.
yeah, like whatever the term is, like I don't know. I I'm more
It would
leaning
send ripples
towards
through the whole commentary community and everything like that, all those types of videos.
yeah. So you and I have said it many times. We don't have any skin in the game for either one of these. But now I'm just at the point where it's like, just fucking settle or end it. Like that's a weird. Now you're demanding someone's Then what's next? Like, let me see your phone history. Let me see. Like, it's becoming more and more weird. Where like,
Yeah, let me see like your emails, like your Hotmail.
yeah, like
Let me see
no,
your SG searches.
I'm not cool with any of that. I'm like, no, like you shouldn't have access just because you're mad I made videos about you, which is what it all comes down to at the end of the day. So
Yeah, this whole case has been like a pendulum swing of like, oh, well, they're making some good points, and it's like, oh, no, you're getting a little too fucky, and then bing bong, bing bong. Like, yeah,
we
I
keep saying, Smash, Alyssa, we'll have you on here. I used to be a peer mediator in grade school. I can solve shit really easily, and Jim can just provide commentary, which is useless. So we got it.
how dare you, sir? I am the heart and soul of this operation. I'll have you know.
You're the whole.
I'm the everyman. God damn it.
No, because you never go with the everyman.
Old
You're
Jimmy
like,
Bootstraps over here. Old ham and egger.
no, you're like croissanter and fucking. I don't know what's
Oop,
the most terrible breakfast meat. You would like. You're not a
what?
ham and egger. That's too good. That's too normal. You would choose. You'd be like poached egg and some bullshit and
Yeah.
chip beef. That's what you are. You're poached egg and chip beef.
Sir, I'm a scrapple boy through and through. I'll have you know.
But Jim, let's move on from lawsuits to yet
To
this
the
next one,
culture
man.
war.
Oh man,
Let's,
this
let's
one.
let's go from a lawsuit to the culture war to the latest bitch fest of the culture war. So yes, Bry, speaking of more topical stuff that happened earlier today. So Nintendo, for some reason, decided to have a mini direct for an upcoming release. And that release is called Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. Bry, have you ever heard of Tomodachi Life before?
I sure did, Jim, and I had to look it up and dive a little bit into what the fuck is this? And
So yes, Tomodachi Life is a somewhat long-running series at this point, and with it, what is it? The 3DS had the most recent release of Tomodachi Life, which is apparently the 11th highest-selling 3DS game in Japan. And basically, what it is you make, basically Mii's and your little Mii characters, and you have like a simulation life where you don't really do that much. You just kind of watch them live their lives and somewhat like direct little things to go on or make events. It's almost like a more Japanese version of The Sims without having ever played either game. So that's just my take from it. But yeah, it's like a less interactive Animal Crossing almost in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's all about making your character, making the apartments they all live in, making different characters and relationships and blah 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 blah. And yeah, it's a weird one. So they have decided to expand and live up to a promise they made back in 2014, because apparently it's supposed to be a lifestyle simulator. So back then people went, well, where's all the gay options? So to basically live up to that promise, they said, there's been tweets about it all day. There is a dating preferences thing where you can choose who you want to date. You can pick one, you can pick more than one, you can pick zero for the incels out there. You get your representation. You can go with males, females, or non-binaries. You can click one, you can click none, you can click all three. A very simple, very, you have a bunch of options that you can do. Bri, I see you shaking your head vigorously over there.
I sure am, Jim. But
What's the
go
problem,
on,
Bri?
keep no. Keep going. I'll
I mean,
save my piece.
there's not much more to go from there. So, of course, there's been the massive Twitter uproar over this from both sides. One side going, yes, finally, representation. This is awesome. Nintendo, they finally did it. I can't believe they're actually doing this. And the other side that's going, women become, like from Daka Daka here, woman becomes CEO, company immediately forces gay shit in front of kids. Enough, I'm done with Nintendo. And also pushing, oh, look at all this degeneracy, body, blah. And, just a normal outrage culture, crap like that. Also blaming Nintendo's of America's new CEO, who's been around for 3 weeks, who had nothing to do with the development of this game. And so before we jump into some of the other little minor controversies with it, let's just let's just go with that portion first, Brian. A lot of head shaky. What's your feeling?
Who the fuck cares? One, this game, as you said, Japan heavy. Not saying it doesn't have a following in the States, but before this article, never even heard about it.
Same.
I would probably put money down that of everyone we interact with in the gaming world, 0.5% might actually play this game, if I'm being generous. So once again, it's a game Who the fuck cares? It's another social sim games. I have my own issue with people that are still heavily invested in social sim games as a whole. That's a crowd that should be looked into. Putting that aside,
What?
um,
No, no,
yeah,
no, no. Expand on that. I want to hear this.
when you are so obsessed with living a social life, it's probably telling me something about you and your own life and the unrealistic expectations you have of life. And you're probably not great. And it's worrisome that you care this much to defend it. Or the people that are getting pissed off are just as annoying. Like you said, I saw a lot of the comments. I can probably guarantee you the majority of the folks going like, what are some of the comments? Someone saying Nintendo supports groom minors. This option should only be available for adult Mii's. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that.
I guess the non-binary side, they're saying the typical non-binaries are all groomers, trans bashing bullshit like that.
Well, I don't know what he means about like this option should only be about. I don't know the game. I don't know if you have adult Mii's, child Mii's, whatever the hell it is.
I think they like. I don't know anything about it, so they could all be the same age. They could not be. I don't know. To be honest, I've never
Yeah.
played it.
Someone else writing another hobby ruined by the woke. And then people basically saying, uh, this person that did the tweet, Jolly J, basically he's saying, "Oh man, I can't wait to see people, a bunch of grown ass men who are about to cry." But he himself is responding to almost every tweet and kind of seems like a grown ass man crying about defending it. So I'm like, you're both fucking idiots right now. The ones that are bitching about this game who probably never played it, and then the ones that are staunchly defending it who probably play it way too much. So that is why I shake my head, Jim.
I was
It's
gonna say,
a
well,
it's
what's
a it's a
wrong? What? No, I'm gonna like, what's wrong with defending it though?
Cause you're fucking stupid. Do you think you're going to change someone's mind who doesn't agree with it? Like, and think about what you're defending. You're not fucking defending the Constitution. You're not defending someone's life. You're defending a weird niche game that's in Japan that if somebody doesn't agree with it, what are you going to do? Are you really going to defend it? You're going on your high horse? No, that's fucking dumb to sit there and argue with someone. But this was a bait tweet, in my assumption, that that's kind of what this person wanted to do. So it's a social simulation game. Of course, they should have every dating option. That kind of makes sense in this day and age. But the weird, like, over celebration about it too is weird. The over hate on it is weird. It's weird on all sides. It's like because people on both sides are making it too big of a deal, you just need to be able to let this type of shit pop up and decide, even if you're happy for it, you don't got to over celebrate for it because now you're going to spark the people over here going, well, fuck, see, now that's worse. Just let a thing be and move on, is my point. That's why I'm shaking my head and saying it's all fucking dumb.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think for the options for a simulation game, yeah, cool, fine, whatever. You're not forced to click on anything. You can click on as much as you want. Wonderful.
Yeah.
The people who are happy about it, I mean, for a lot of the people in the online space, there's not a lot of representation in games. So if they're happy about it, great. The people, what's that look, Bry?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, there's
You
not
don't
a
think in this
ton of
day and
games.
age there's not.
I'm talking about in gaming though, for like character creation for like specific like, especially from Nintendo, from a Japanese company. Let me put it that way. In the West,
Okay.
yes, there's a lot of it, but for a company like Nintendo that's never delved into this before, that I guess a lot of these people have waited forever to see something for like this from Nintendo,
Oh,
like
I didn't.
Japanese
I genuinely didn't. I thought Nintendo. Well, then again, I don't know how many Nintendo social sims there are. So I
or
just
just
assumed
games in general from
Nintendo.
Nintendo with like character creation kind of stuff. So,
Hmm.
you know, if you have determined online people who have, all their different things, then if Nintendo's their thing and they're happy to finally see it pop up, good. Good for them. Doesn't affect me in any way. I don't give a shit. But it's, it's better to have it there. I think anyone who's bitching about it, like, all like the anti-woke, all this bull crap. It's just, or complaining and crying about it. I mean, it's like, why? You're the people who are never going to play it anyway. I'm never going to play it anyway, and I don't really care either way. But yeah, like for the people happy about it, good. For the people crying, I think they're all the ones just being performative for the most part. Even though some people are being performative happy, I'll give you, like, you're right there because some are being way over the top about it as well. But yeah, like I don't see a problem in why everyone. All it is just like anything else with any kind of topic in this day and age where it's just going to be used for content, like we're doing right now.
Well, to your point, if this same thing was released and that option wasn't available, there would be the inverse where people would be really angry. And then once their anger sparked, then people would be happy that it's not an option. Like you are going to spark the opposite when you bring too much attention to it. That's that. I guess that's my point, right? Like if there was no dating preferences and everyone was just, you know, straight and then people were like, hey, there's no option for this here. And people start outraging, then you're gonna embolden people on the other side, be like, yeah, there shouldn't be. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I
It'll be the
think
same
either way,
bullshit.
you're gonna
Yeah,
do the same bullshit. Yeah. So for a game like that, like I said, it just fascinates me. And to your point, if you're someone who truly loves that game and that's your life and now you're happy, awesome. But I feel like most people commenting on it will never, have never, and won't play that in any capacity.
yeah.
So
For the people happy about it, for the people not happy about it,
yeah,
and
that's what I mean.
yeah, like these options, I go cool. You know what I'm not happy about, Brian? What do you think the price tag on this game is?
Is it fucking $80?
No, it's not 80, but it is
Okay.
60.
For a social simulator game that is, well,
Filled with just me like characters and the lowest graphics. Basically, we era graphics, but upscaled. And yeah,
yeah, like looking into these games, I'm just like, who? Who plays this? Who buys this? Like it, and then like as you pointed out, there's like controversy around the friggin' image restrictions. So Nintendo themselves released an article talking about image sharing features in Tomodachi Life are going to be restricted. And it's funny because their article is so friggin' short.
it's so short.
It's like tells you
Tits mouth.
nothing, no reason why. It's just, yeah, while these moments are fun, while these moments are often fun for players, we recognize that out of context scenes may be misunderstood or may not reflect the spirit in which the game is intended to be enjoyed. Nintendo is committed to creating experiences that are welcoming and enjoyable for everyone. So to support this commitment in consideration of the unique gameplay in this game, we have decided to place restrictions on certain image sharing features. These limits help to make the worlds players create fun and safe, and that the game can be enjoyed comfortably by all players. So you posted a link which showed it's pretty funny. It's from Nintendo. He says, I get it. People went ham with me. Was it
Mitomo.
Mitomo app back in the day? And I'll just, I'm not going to put the picture up because God forbid I don't want it to fucking get thing.
I'll describe it. So there is so the thing about, so when Mitomo came out, people were sharing all kinds of memes from it, because it would be characters caught in unintentionally funny situations. So the picture put on here is of a fallacioous nature, one could say, Brian. And of course, it's memed with 2013 speak of "Holy fuck, my dick getting the suck with two C's," and it's funny. I like it. I
It is
approve.
funny.
And it's stuff that people, they're like, yeah, Nintendo probably doesn't want this being shared all around again. And of course, a lot, if you go through any of the posts, immediately flooded with me's made of Epstein and Charlie Kirk. So I'm sure that they're not sharing all this because the complaint is that it's almost like WWE Creator Wrestler, where it's like, I don't want to go through the time to make my own perfect, say, Mr. Perfect. I want to
Yeah.
take someone else's and just use it. People have done that forever with these games for like making Wario or Nintendo characters or spoofing celebrities, but given the day and age we live in the political climate right now, probably not too smart to, let the genie out of the bottle that way, I'd say. So, you know,
Which everyone points out, you can still screenshot it. You could just, if you really need to get it out there and see funny game footage, as you always say, Jim, love will find a way.
yep. Yeah. So basically, other things expanded on it, saying that it's disabling the screenshot function on the Switch and the direct posting to social media apps from your Switch. But people were already like, all right, well, I can just take a picture from my phone or just use a capture card on my computer and get shit
Yeah.
out there that way. So, like you said, Brian, love finds a way.
But you know what? I do agree with Nintendo. I get it. That's probably why they don't have more games with these whole creative person feature. Because at the end of the day, Nintendo has very different values than what we're used to with the Xbox and PlayStation and PC community. Love it, hate it, just disagree with it. They just do. So it's their right. It's their company. So yeah, doesn't shock me in the least bit.
Yeah, and I guess they're just trying
So
to
Jim,
prevent.
when are you getting this game?
Brian, if you told me yesterday that we'd be spending 20 minutes talking about, I don't even remember the name of the guy, Tomodachi Life. I almost forgot. I already forgot the name of the fucking game. I would say, what the hell's Tomodachi Life, Brian? So,
Yep.
yeah, suffice to say, day one, and I'm gonna get like 3 copies to give out to multiple copies to give to everyone I know.
Damn it, Jim. I Here's the deal. I'm sure you would get it if it gets released from limited run games. You're like, ooh, but it's a physical copy, and I need it. You boo boo boo.
I mean, it's already getting a physical. I mean, I think it's getting a physical copy. So yes,
Fuck, Jim. Jim, you are a sucker for things that grifters like to put out there, much like your good buddy Doctor Disrespect. And
buying from grifters. What? Good buddy. What? No, no. I disavow. No,
nope, we know your history.
no,
So your best buddy, Doctor Disrespect,
no.
and stupid merchandise that likes to be sold. I'll be honest, I looked into this, Jim. I still don't quite get it. So you're gonna have to help explain it to me. I have the picture up here, but I'll just read it off. The tweet from Dr. Disrespect says, "Breaking news: Media launches an investigation. I launched a Low Guard, your golden ticket to greatness, signed by two-time himself. Clips on a lanyard, shields against stupidity. Limited time only. Pre-order now." And then he has the picture, which is up here right now. And then pretty quickly underneath, he wrote, "We sold out a we sold out a pre-order. Think about it." Um, what the fuck, Jim? What? And then you also link the original joke from it, but what the hell is this all about?
Okay, so the internet. Okay, so High Guard. High Guard is a game that closed out the recent Game Awards. That for $1 on Patreon, you can go watch our watch along with bad quality audio, but hey, it's still a fun time. And we got very drunk during the course of that. And yes, it's a free to play PvP game. It released a couple days ago. We're recording on the 29th of January,
Oh yeah, this
2026.
game. I remember thinking it looked kind of cool. But go
Yep.
on.
Well, sorry to say, Bry, that it's apparently a big steaming sack of shit. It's getting
Huh.
review bombed like crazy. It has numerous complaints, negative comments ranging from bugs to balance issues, many asking why it was even released. Only 32% players out of almost 100,000 have left positive reviews so far.
Hmm.
So, this game has been weirdly loved by Jeff Keighley too, and he got a ton of shit on Twitter for liking it and saying, "Hey, this game's actually kind of pretty fun." And he woke up the next day to just a deluge of hate, which is just like so fuck. I mean, it's the Dorito Pope. He's just going to get hated on anyway. But it's like, it almost brought Twitter, like two things yesterday brought Twitter together. People going, "Guys, leave Jeff alone. He's just having fun." And Bill Belichick not getting voted into the Hall of Fame. Like two things out of nowhere that just brought everyone to go and going, "Come on, guys."
Yeah. Like, what are we
But
doing?
yes, so High Guard, another game that I never will never play. I don't give a shit about. But
Yeah.
good old Doctor Disrespect, the one of the formerly one of the biggest streamers in the world. And then he had his little bit of a controversy, some of us could say. He's had some weird responses where he said he did things and then said he didn't do it, and then went back to say that he did do it.
Wait, I
So he,
actually don't. I don't remember. Other than what was it, cheating on his wife? What was his controversy?
sexually texting a 17-year-old.
Oh, that'll do it. Okay.
Yep. So you can imagine the comment section of anything he posts.
Ah,
He had a post on the 24th of January where he said, "Last week we took the Lambo to LA to check out High Guard. Monday, January 2026 at 10 a.m., we entered another dimension." And he made a photoshopped key card saying High Guard, Dr. Disrespect, the two-time, which I guess he's some two-time champion or something or other. I don't know. With a pocket knife in the background for some reason, to the point where the creator for High Guard confirmed that Disrespect was not invited to the High Guard event, and the badge was shown was not genuine. And like, besides everyone call him a PDF file in the comment section, it's just people going, "What is this?" And like the random weirdos on Twitter who are agree with him politically, just being like, "Oh yeah, he fucking wrecked him." It's like, no, this is nothing. I don't get this. I don't see the joke. I don't see why it was funny. Like I don't get it. But apparently, because it's Doctor Disrespect, it made enough of a hoopla that people that like and so much stuff that he decided to release his own lanyard. Like you said, it says Logard that has his signature on it, and he sold it for $25 a piece. A lanyard, like a thing you clip onto a
it's a
lanyard,
lanyard. It's just a straight up lanyard. Yep.
and it sold out.
Okay, here's my question. Do you actually think it's sold out, or do you think that's also part of the joke for him? Is just he never probably actually put it up and it's just saying it's already sold out to kind of drive more people getting pissed off?
I mean, there's always that chance, but I would not be surprised if it actually sold out.
I mean, that's fucking. Well, man, it's funny
For the
as I'm
meme,
going
Bry.
through the.
For the meme. You must do things for the meme. You have to buy your Gamer Girl bathwater, you have to buy your Bo Blacks plushies, and you have to buy your Dr. Disrespect lanyards. All right? It's just what you have to do when you're on the internet.
Dumb shit like this, though, honestly, for all the stuff that does piss me off, this is surface level. You know, you're buying dumb bullshit. So if you're dumb enough to do that, I think you're just dumb. But it's there's no sneakiness with it, right? Like I guess that's why I can be okay that he put this out there. I can't believe it sold out. I don't know what sold out means. Like, did he only make 50 of them? Or are we talking a couple thousand? Like, there's a big difference there, right? Like, if he had an extremely limited run of like 100 and they sold out, okay. I can't imagine he mass produced these things. Is just my point. Or at least I mean, I guess I'm hoping he didn't. um, I don't know, Jim, but
How many signatures did he want to do, Brian? How many things did he want to sign?
that's kind of my point, right? Like, so I'm not as mad about it in terms of like when people do that dumb shit. It's better than buying assumed bathwater still, but I digress. It's just dumb. It's just fucking dumb. Like, who buys this? But once again, this is some dumb shit you would buy. So
I have never bought any of this crap, I'll have you know.
you
Attempted, but
have
have
a
not
whole
done it.
room full of dumb crap, Jim. Let's be
That's
honest.
different crap, Brian. It's respectable crap. It's my crap.
But
Let's not
yeah,
forget that your background is very similar to mine. So we all have our crap. I'll have you know.
no, I have quality. You have crap.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
uh,
Oh, I am
but
Dave the Dead Seven. Woo!
yeah, that's a great movie. You got a problem with
Don't you fucking dare.
it?
Don't you goddamn dare. Put a zombie
Don't
on
make
his
me
land. You'd be buying it then.
don't make me show you Blood Diner again. Son
Don't
of a
make me kick
bitch.
your ass in Melee, Brian. Or don't let me call my good buddy Mew2King to get off his ass and do it. Because you know what he does, Bry? He games. And you know what he doesn't do? Fucking work like a goddamn fucking, like a poor, like a pleb. All right? That's not what he does. And he will never do it. And Bry,
Jim,
that brings
if
us
you
to our
shaved
norm
your
review.
head bald and got rid of your beard and lost a few lbs, I'm just saying.
Bry, I think if anyone shaved their head bald. No, no, fuck you. We saw what I looked like bald that one time after a terrible haircut accident. No, note to everybody out there. If you're going to try and give yourself a quick haircut, don't buy $10 clippers from CVS. It will not end
That
well.
that is a good thing. But all right, let's get back to your buddy Mew2King.
So yes, Mewtwo. So this made all the rounds a couple days ago on X the Everything app. From once again at Dexerto, Mew2King urged to get a job after Smash Melee God reveals how much he makes streaming. So, Jason Zimmerman has been competing in Melee tournaments for years, but was once one of the top players the game had ever seen. Along with Armada, PPMD, Mango, who we talked about previously, and Hungrybox, he was considered one of the 5 gods of Melee. So, apparently, before like tool assists for like learning frames and crap like that, somehow 20 years ago, this guy was doing it. I don't know how the hell he was counting frames and like all this shit, but like that's next level gamertism that I both respect and go, wow. But you know
Jim,
what?
I think you have a statement that you like to throw around.
No, no,
What
no,
what
no.
what happens with grenades, Jim? When they
Um,
go off, they seem to leave things in people. What would you call that?
holes,
Shrapnel,
booms.
Jim.
Oh, shrapnel. Fuck yeah, I was blanking on that. Yeah, he got hit with some shrapnel, Brian. He definitely he got some collateral damage there. But you know what? It made him a gong among men in his niche. But when he was speaking with Jigglypuff main Hungrybox, who advised him to get a minimum wage job. I told him I make like $2 an hour with 20 to 30 viewers and high ads, he explained. Yep, $2 an hour isn't that good. But he also noted that he relies heavily on raids and broadcasting overnight to get paid for people lurking. And so he puts in like crazy hours throughout the course of the night. He goes on to say, everyone else has a normal life schedule and a lot of friends. They go offline around 11 p.m. or whatever, then I might as well start around that, right? It just makes sense. I basically just do what I need to do to survive. And yeah, we are in the YouTube content Twitch creation game. 20 to 30 viewers, we'd love to have that continuously on our streams, but we even know that's not a lot. That isn't even a lot to be a YouTube or a Twitch partner. Like,
Well, that's what. Let me back up all this by saying 20 to 30 would be good for us, considering I stream maybe once a month for an hour or two.
right.
But this guy has 262,000 followers. And actively, he has a stream up right now that's been streaming for 21 hours. He's got 36 live viewers. Um,
Jesus.
but in the corner, it says M2K is sleeping right now. So it just seems to be replaying his old Smash tournaments and stuff like that. Um, if he is truly live streaming, and that's the craziest part about all this is like I follow a lot of like Dead by Daylight people. And I know you don't play that game or care about that, but
Right.
I only bring that up as an example. Like, let me pull up this guy. When I see somebody has 262,000 following you actively on Twitch, and you're only pulling in 30 viewers, what is wrong with that picture? Like something is clearly way off there. And I don't doubt, like, I guess he did a calculation. He's only making $2 an hour from that. Like that's fucking insane.
So, I guess my theory on that would be one, since he hasn't played in a lot of tournaments for years, probably
Nobody knows who he is.
the interest around his name waned. Yeah. And so, when people say he goes live, it's like, yeah, well, I'm going to watch like, an old legend play if it's not going to lead to anything really. I don't know. But, yeah, so there's been people talking about it. Apparently, he's been offered a lot of money to play in tournaments, and he just doesn't do it. Like, I don't know what screw went loose to where he doesn't want to do it anymore, but sometimes people burn out. Sometimes the stress of the scene gets to be too much and they can't do it anymore. Everyone has their issues. Who knows? But there's a tweet from a user known as Wonky Drive who goes, Dexerto for some reason just keeps posting stuff to make Smash look worse while actively being misleading with titles. Mew2King isn't a bum living on $2 an hour. He also earns money as one of the top Smash coaches / Twitch subs / sponsors. So yeah, I think the like coaching you can definitely make some good money off of, but I think the subs is probably the biggest thing. So like, yeah, maybe people just forget to not resub or like, cancel subs. Or if you have 220,000 friggin' followers, I'm sure you have a shitload of subs come in from that, and you can make some pretty
Yeah.
good money off Twitch subs. So it
Which
could
is
just be a
why
lot of
I
passive
also don't
income.
understand there. Like I don't know when he's saying $2 an hour, what that actually means, because like you said, if even 1% of his subs, like we make pretty decent money on subs. I was going to say, like, if we really broke down the amount of time I've streamed versus what we've actually made on Twitch, it's a lot more than $2 an hour per hour I've actually streamed just based on subs. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know what his $2 an hour actually, maybe is it just, is he figuring out the subs? And like he says, he does these long ass streams. I get across all those hours. Maybe that's how he gets it down to that number. I don't know.
It's probably most likely just like a straight up number from ad revenue for that amount of subs and how long he does. So if you're just
Hmm.
talking straight money from ad revenue, then yeah, maybe that tracks. But again, if you have subs and coaching and sponsors, like this guy's not, he's probably not hurting at all. We can put it that way.
Yeah. So Jim, when you put this all here as a normie view, I think I think the original thing just started with his buddy saying like you need to get a job. And
Yes.
this guy has basically maintained, he's like, no, like I want to just do gaming and that's it. We've said this many, many times.
Right. Real
Like,
quick, could Deserto have picked any other picture of this guy for the thumbnail to an article where he says he doesn't want to work a job, he just wants to game for $2 an hour?
I mean, when you hear somebody just wants to game for $2 an hour, you're not going to show their prom picture, Jim. All right. You're going to show the picture that probably best exemplifies the type of person who would say that. And it is the picture I have up right now. So it is an unfortunate picture, but I'm also like, right. Like it makes sense. Like if there was an article that came out about you about being drunk, do you think they're going to use one of your nice picture, Jim? Or do you think they're going to come to me and say, what's a funny picture you have of Jim? And
And then you would
like,
say, how much time you got, buddy?
exactly. I'd be like, I have a portfolio, sir. But we've talked about this. I respect the shit out of people who give up a day job and commit to streaming, content creation, gaming. Like, kudos to you, more power to you. I don't have it in me to like be ballsy enough to do that. Also, I recognize you're probably not going to make it in the sense of let's just call what would you say is a average living rate for most people? 50K a year, 60?
Yeah, apparently this actually came up in a different stream I was watching earlier. Apparently working class in the US is between 40 to 70,000. That's considered
Okay.
working class.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so 50 or 60 is in between. So my point being, even to make that, man, it's not, you can't be a low level guy. Like you have to 100,000 subs, constant content, viewership, and you always have to be on. And if you like, I watched this one guy on Instagram. I'm sure you've probably seen him. He's the one, he's like tattooed up, but he always is like, the second like you lift your phone or do something, smile, and then he plays a part of his wife with a blue wig and like has her freak and like acts as freaking out. It's on Instagram.
Okay.
He overdoes it now, but like he's got a ton of followers. And in a really interesting candid thing, he shared like how much he actually makes because he's one of the bigger people being followed, but he also is like a day trader. And he was showing like on a day-to-day basis, like, all right, I made like $300 on Instagram today, but tomorrow I lost $200 in stocks. And then the next day I lost $400, but I made 600 here. Like, so it's just interesting to see that balancing act of like, what could people really make? And if you're a guy like this person, Mew2King, you're only making $2. Yes, you're doing coaching. Yes, you're doing other things. If he's comfortable, like maybe he's making 40K, 50K a year, and he's fine with that. I just, what worries me is a lot of people think this is a way I can just learn my go forward with my life. And if you never get a skill outside of this that could be actually applicable to a real job, because if for some reason you do get burnt out, um, something happens to you and you just can't stream anymore. Like, I don't want to see these people not be able to make money in any sense of the way. And if this guy's been doing this for 15 or 20 years, like, what real world skill could he or would he have to offer?
Yeah, it's weird when you have a big gap in your resume and your resume is just filled with like Smash Pro slash YouTuber. Like, I don't know how that translates to our AI hellhole of fucking job recruiting that we live in this day and age. So, probably doesn't help. And as I was digging through more tweets, like this guy gets a lot of hate. I don't know anything about the Smash community. I don't pretend to know anything about the Smash community except all the stories you read about how
I
seedy
was
and
just
bad
about
it
to say,
is.
don't most like by association, if you're in the Smash community, aren't you automatically like a lower tier?
You're getting side-eyed. Let's put it that way. You're getting
Yeah.
side-eyed. So yeah, but like one tweet was just like he lost all of his sponsorships in 2022 and he hasn't placed in a tournament in years. So it's like I don't know, like because people are saying no, he's got to be making off his like accomplishments, and you're like, dude, he hasn't had accomplishments or sponsorships in a long time. So
Mm.
yeah, I mean, he's probably just living off pure Twitch subs at this point. Which, if you have 220,000 followers, I'm sure that's a fucking lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. You could, like I said, if you can do it, awesome.
Even though the
I,
ratio is still low, if like you're maxing out at like 100 to 200 viewers with that many followers, like
that's
your
extreme.
your
Well,
your
that's what I was
heyday's
trying
long
for some
gone. Yeah.
reason. Twitch, for some reason, is like not working for me, but I was pulling up the point of like, Dead by Daylight, which is its own thing, even though it is a very popular game and a lot of big content creators, like dudes might only have, and I say only very sparingly, like 30K subs.
Hmm.
But when I go to their streams, they're averaging like 15 to 20K viewers or some like crazy number, 2,000, 3,000. So that's why I said for the number he has to the number viewing him, something's off there. The accounting isn't working, Jim.
The math ain't mathing, as they say, Brian. But yeah,
Yeah.
there is a. Let me see here. Let me do a little Mew2King controversy. Faced serious allegations of sexual misconduct when he publicly denied revealing personal details about his medical condition to debunk the claims. So something that apparently happened in July of 2020. An allegation that he had. Oh wow. Oh Jesus. He had ejaculated on a girl while she was asleep during a stay at a Smash House, which is the place where a bunch of Smash people stay and train and live
You
together.
can't call, I know you're being cute with the name, but you already have the surrounding thing of Smash Community. You can't have it be called the Smash House. Can I just throw that out there, Jim?
Okay. So he stated that this was a complete lie, and he explained that due to complications from a botched circumcision as a child, he is unable to feel pleasure or orgasm, making the alleged incident impossible.
I mean, that's a hell of a claim. If if it's true, he just revealed, I guess, his biggest, darkest secret. If it's not true, he's trying to throw one hell of an excuse.
I mean,
And
that's a
as
one-two
you
punch of
said, look,
crazy admissions and accusations right there. Wow, I was not expecting that.
I mean, it's definitely. So when you go back to why did they need to choose that picture, Jim? I think we know why they need to choose that picture, Jim.
Yep.
Oh man. So,
Right. Do you think he said
okay, so
this beforehand?
I'm gonna come.
God damn it, Jim. Uh, yeah, it's very interesting. He was included in Forbes 30 under 30 for 2019.
Yep. Right before the accusations came out. So that's a sticky wicket right there.
I love his Wikipedia on. I just got to under personal life. So they talk about like where he was born, his handle. He actually grew up in Cinnaminson, Jim.
Oh, local boy.
Actually, given his age range, we might have to speak to our friends because I think what they're showing here, he might have went to the same school as them and he's 89. He was born in 89, so he would have
So,
been he's a little younger than us.
yeah, he's like 3 years younger than us generally. Yeah.
Um, but so he was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, OCD, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Oh, a pro gamer, you say?
Yeah. Well, and then I love a 2009 photo of Zimmerman getting kissed by a girl at a Super Smash Brothers tournament has become a widely circulated viral image across the internet, including an article written on the subject by ESPN. Now I need to see this picture.
I'm typing it right
I
now.
actually have it right now. Hold on, I'm going to put it into the chat and I'll put it up for everyone uh lists watching right now, but I have to send this to Jim. This picture might have been even more embarrassing. So I just put it up there for you,
All
Jim.
right, there we go. Oh no. Oh no. Please,
I
please just
mean,
be him memeing. Please. Please, for the love of God.
but to your point, what was the thing? He said he has a medical condition due to a circumcision that,
A botched circumcision, so he can't feel pleasure or ejaculate, basically.
oh my God.
Which
If
sounds like hell, if
if
that's true.
if that's true, if that's true, let me put all that out there. If that's true, um, I don't even want to say. But like yeah, that's a
Don't
terrible name.
circumcise your kids, everybody. Don't do it. It's wrong.
Um, I don't think that's the issue, Jim.
I think it is, Brian. I think we need to take a stand.
I but as you said, the controversy kind of aligns with the timeline of all of his sponsors being dropped. So maybe that's why he was dropped from everything. But like we said,
Maybe that's
Smash
why his views are in the toilet. Like, ugh.
and to your point, the that tweet from Wonky Drive, I like how he's like, man, they just seem to hate on Smash people. It's like, yeah, but there's probably a reason for that, right? Like, let's not defend the Smash people too much. Like you defend
We
your
can't
buddy
pretend the
Dr.
pro scene.
Disrespect. Let's not defend this too
Damn
much.
it. Disavow. We've only hung out a couple dozen times, but
I'm gonna have to fake make
nope.
that lanyard for you and just put it around your neck. You know I have to do it, Jim.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course.
Ah,
But yeah, but back to the Smash community. It's like, yeah, a lot of people are just like, oh, everyone just hates on the Smash community. It's like, your pro scene hasn't done your community any favors
no,
at
not
all.
at all.
Don't blame us. We're just
Chambers.
observers. All right.
Well, that's all we are. But Chambers, I as a normie view, should he get a job? I don't know if he can. Maybe that's a better word. I don't know if he's capable of holding a regular job. Given all the shit I just read about the dude,
Yeah.
maybe this is the best life for him.
Maybe he's already overachieved with the hand that was dealt to him. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? If he can somehow survive on what he's doing, keep doing it. That's all I can say.
More power to you, man.
But Chambers,
Wow.
I don't want to feel, in case any of those stories about him are true, any controversies, I'm not going to give the dude too much sympathy, but if they're not, dude's had a tough life. He's had a tough go. And even if he was a god amongst men, as you called him earlier, in the Smash community, that can only mean so much in real life, Jim. So yeah.
It's only so much translating your gamer cred can do.
But Chambers, the real question is, how did your summertime IPA treat you tonight?
Well, I should have had more of these to wash that taste out of my goddamn mouth from what I just read. But yeah, no, this is a very, very solid IPA. Can't go into too much detail about it, but if you like a good IPA, you'll enjoy this one.
Nice. Yeah, and as I said, every IPA from this IPA variety pack has been delicious. This one probably has some of the best flavor, but it also gets into that weird category sometimes hazies do, where you get so much like of a fruit citrusy flavor, but it's backed up by a lot of that hoppy bitterness that like lingers after the fact. So still really good. Sucks you can't get it. So maybe one day they'll be resurrected. But as Jim and I said earlier, a lot of breweries are closing down. So It's par for the course. But with that, guys, we want to say thank you all so much for listening and watching. If you're listening on Podbean, iTunes, or Spotify, leave us a 5-star rating. And if you leave us a comment, we'll read on each and every one of these Power Hour podcasts. And if you are watching on YouTube, hit the notification bell so we can see all of our shorts and our videos that come up. Hit the like button, leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. With that, we want to say have a good night, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.